Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tanner's Favorite Things. Today I want to take a look at a really cool pedal that's on loan to me right now. This belongs to my friend Greg, and he graciously let me borrow this pedal so I could review it and give you guys a taste of what it sounds like. And for that demo, I've chosen to use my Explorer. This is the metalist guitar that I have. This is a 1997 Gibson Explorer, and it is a custom shop edition. That doesn't mean that it was from the custom shop, but apparently this color, it's like a TV yellow style black where you can see the wood grain a little bit through the paint. It's not a full-on black or ebony. So 97 Gibson Explorer, this is pretty much the epitome of metal right here. And what we've got today is a pedal from DOD called the FX56 American Metal. This pedal is from the 1980s. I believe it was discontinued in the early 90s, but it was considered by some as the standard for just straight up heavy, deep sounding distortion. I've had a chance to put it through its paces, so let's go ahead and dig in and see what we got. Today for the sound demo, our Explorer is plugged directly into the 5150, but in between that signal path is the DOD pedals. So no other pedals in the mix, just guitar, DOD American Metal into the 5150, which is also known as American Metal unto itself. But that's the signal chain being captured by two microphones. We have our MXL guitar cube right here, about 3 feet from the cabinet. I assume it's going to catch these slanted speakers from our Fryette 4x12 really well. And then I have an E906 dynamic mic on the bottom left or your right speaker. Both of those mics are being fed into my Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 interface and being captured by my computer through my DAW, which is Sony's Acid Studio 11. Alright, so here's this guitar clean through the 5150. Obviously it makes the most sense to do this in drop D, so that's what you can expect. Here it is. So that's our clean sound out of the high gain channel, by the way, in the 5150. We are in the high gain channel, but we do not have that lead channel engaged. So this is just the clean. Let's go ahead and press this button and see what we got. Alright, so what this pedal is known for is deep distortion and a lot of sustain, and you can tell right from that one single chug that we had sustain for days. So I think that that's something that this pedal hits the mark if you're looking for something with a lot of sustain, can generate some feedback and maybe have some interesting high type of frequency harmonics that come into the sound. So let's go ahead and mess around with the knobs. What do we have here? We have a level knob, which is obviously our volume. Then we have a presence knob, which you'll see it kind of takes the sound and either throws it to the front of what you experience as the aural theater or the back. And then we have our distortion knob. I think this one might be broken because I've been turning it 100% and I can't get too much of a difference out of that specific dial. But let's go ahead and see what it sounds like when we mess around with some of these dials. First off, you'll notice that there is a lot of harmonic hum. These are really hot pickups in this Explorer. That's pretty common for this guitar. And we're just getting a lot of feedback from that DOD pedal, which has a lot of gain. Let's see if we can chase that out. Already it's a little better just by taking that level down. So at a certain point, that potentiometer kind of cuts out. I don't think that that's how it sounded like out of the box. I think that that's just a scratchy pot that could probably use a little bit of cleaning. So we'll have to take a look at that a little bit later. But right now, if we just dial this down and then dial it back up, it engages right around like 30%. And obviously that's really scratchy while going through the progression of this dial. So, I don't know, it just needs to be cleaned, not a big deal. Can't quite tell if it's cutting out at the pedal or at this jack plate on this guitar. It feels rock solid, but it could be part of the guitar. Let's go ahead and mess around with these dials a bit further. It seems like, again, once you get to that 75% on the other side, it maxes out and there's not much left in that last quarter of a turn. So the bottom quarter and the top quarter, not too much of a discernible difference, but the meat is in the middle of that level dial. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we mess around with the presence. So like I said, it sounds like it's far back in the actual room. I don't know how they achieve that, but they basically muffle the sound so that it sounds like it's in the back of the room or the back of your eardrums. I tend to like it right around that 80% mark. I think that if you go a little further, then it's just a little too biting. So 80%, that one actually does have a full throw of the dial in order to change the sound. So like I mentioned, I think that distortion dial might be stuck on 100. Let's go ahead and just wind through it and see what that sounds like. So in the room, I can't hear any difference with that dial. So I would say that it's probably just stuck on 100, and luckily that's probably what we want out of this pedal anyway. This thing's been kicking around for 30 years now, so you gotta expect that some of its parts are getting a little worn out. But the circuitry works exactly as it should. The only problem is that potentiometer. Maybe a good cleaning would help that one out as well. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a video on that later. Either way, this is where I settled on this pedal. Right around, I don't know, 65% at the level, 80% on the presence, and 100% on the distortion to get the sounds that I like best out of this pedal. So is this my favorite pedal? Absolutely not. It's a really cool sounding pedal, but you can tell that this pedal just doesn't have quite the edge that some of the other Boss pedals or some of maybe the Ibanez pedals had at the era. And in fact, this one is trying to mimic the Boss heavy metal pedal. So if it sounds a little similar to that, that's on purpose. So luckily, not much to show you here. This is a pretty simple pedal, 3 dials and an on-off switch, and other than that, it's straight American Metal. Let's go ahead and close out this video and play something that chugs. So thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like this content. I hope to see you on the next one.